Open this meeting of the City Council to approve the CARE tax. I'm going to turn the time over to our illustrious city attorney, Steve Earle, to give us the background and what we're doing today.
Thank you. And thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council, for making yourselves available for this special City Council meeting. We just have one item on the agenda, and that item is to approve an ordinance reauthorizing cultural, arts, and recreation enrichment tax, also known as the CARE tax. As you know, back on November 21st of this year, the voters of the city of Orem voted to approve the extension of the CARE tax for an additional 10 years. And so this ordinance that you have before you is basically the final step in that process of extending that CARE tax for an additional 10 years. It's basically just enacting the CARE tax. As you know, the CARE tax, the prior CARE tax that was enacted back in 2013 expires on March 31st of 2024. And so we need the council to reenact that for an additional 10 years. And that's what the proposed ordinance before you does this afternoon. Be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Do you remember what the vote was? I was trying to remember.
65-35.
65-35. Okay. So
Yeah, it was a pretty significant margin of approval.
that sounds great. I'd like to now open it to the council if they'd like to make a comment about this.
I think I'm ready to make a motion.
Okay, make a comment.
Since it's my last time to make a comment sitting up here, I'll
Okay.
make a comment. No, but I think this is a great tax for the city. And I don't like taxes. I've never liked taxes. But Dave Spencer and I were talking about this walking in. So if I go out to dinner with my family and spend $100, 10 cents goes to this CARE tax. But when I go to the outdoor shell, a friend of mine who I've seen for a number of years lives in American Fork, has a business in American Fork, and every time I walk in, he says, "It's about time you showed up," because he's always there about an hour before I am with saving his seats. But what's pretty neat about this is he owns a business in American Fork. He buys, I don't know how many tickets he has, but he has quite a few tickets. So he comes to Orem, goes out to dinner, and then hopefully stops at the mall or stops at some retail store somewhere and buys a few items, and then goes to the to the outdoor shell. So what a great thing for the city. And so I'm very supportive of it. On a personal note, I grew up with this. Now, I know the CARE is just one part of this, and it's also a great thing for people that are struggling with something to do with arts and a $5,000 or $10,000 check is huge for them. And Debbie's been very involved, I know, with some of those and supportive of some of those smaller groups that we don't know about. And that's a massive thing for them. So I'm very supportive of this. And I just want to say on a personal note, I grew up doing the CARE thing. Sorry, I'm rambling. I won't be long. But I learned to swim in the deep end in the CARE pool. That's back when the CARE had the pool before the Orem City did. And how I learned to swim, I don't think this would be kosher in today's world. The lifeguard said, "It's time you can swim in the deep end without, just being in the shallow end." And I said, "Well, I don't know if I'm ready yet." He took me and threw me in the deep end. And then he had the hook that you save people with. And he said, "Terry, I am not going to rescue you with this hook, and I'm not going to dive in there and save you because you're too big." And I wasn't that big. I'm pretty young then. I mean, I was still big, but not as big as I am now. So he stood there with that hook that they rescue people with, followed me as I swam from one end to where the high dive was to the other side without letting me get out. And I, amazingly, I survived. I didn't know I could do that. So then he said, "Okay, swim back." So then now I can swim. I'm going back and forth. So that's the memory I have of the CARE. It's a great thing. This was long before the CARE tax, but the CARE and all the other groups that benefit from this is a reason that makes Orem unique, because people will come because there's different venues or events that are unique to Orem. And so I strongly support this. I just wanted to have my last say about the CARE because it's just a great memory for me. I also scrape gum off the floors of the theater, but we won't talk about that. Okay. Okay, Debbie, thank you for letting me share that.
I also want to echo my support. I certainly, none of us love a tax, but this one is a great tax because it's designated for rec and for arts. And so both of those I like having a designated fund where I have to. I don't have to choose between fire or roads. You have to spend it on those particular areas. And I think they are quality of life issues. We talk about Family City USA, all of these things, recreation as to quality for children and teenagers to play at our great ball fields and different places, soccer fields and our rec center. And then, of course, the arts have been near and dear to my heart, being on the Arts Council for years. I think just having different opportunities has been a great thing. And we do appreciate anyone who shops in Orem. A lot of them are not local. And so we are able to glean some small tax dollars that, I think it's over $2 million. That's a lot of pennies that add up over time. And so I do support it. So anyone else like to add anything?
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes. Was that Tom or? Yeah.
That's Dave.
Oh, Dave. Okay, go ahead, Dave.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is Dave Young. I just want to echo what you guys are saying in that the two things. One, we haven't added any additional taxes since we've been elected over the last couple of years. Those of us that are new. And we haven't added any taxes because we have a pretty firm belief that taxes have to be really justified and really worthwhile and really used. And often that's not the case. But the CARE tax is different in that, and we're not creating a new tax, we're renewing a tax that's been around previously. And the reason we're renewing this tax, so we're not creating anything new, but the reason we're renewing this is because as Debbie and Terry said, this is a very effective tax. In the world of taxes, one of the big problems is there's no accountability. We have what I would characterize as extreme accountability on the CARE tax as far as where that money goes and how it's used and how effective that is. So anyway, I fully support this CARE tax. I think it's I think it's a benefit to the community. And if I were to break down the entire sales tax, I'm not sure where we're at now, 7.25%, 7.75%. This teeny little piece that goes to CARE is very, very effective, and it's I fully endorse it. So I just want to say that.
Thank you. Lene, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, I just want to say, as a resident, before I ran for city council, I served on the CARE commission with Dave Spencer, Councilmember Spencer, as the council member there. Great opportunity to see, like Debbie said, who this goes to. And like Terry said, I just have, pictures in my mind of the Chantinettes, a great, beautiful choir that really not only provides beautiful music, but provides an activity for our seniors to feel a social connection. So a lot of great things from this CARE tax. And I just have to say, Terry, I remember jumping off the high dive at the Sarah pool. Even though I didn't grow up in Orem, we would come here to swim. And it has been really fun to see the Sarah transform. And I just want to say there are bigger and better things on the horizon for the arts and recreation in Orem, and grateful to the residents who supported this CARE tax on the ballot. Thank you so much to everyone.
Jeff or Tom, are you on Zoom? Do you want to say anything? Are they on?
I'm here, and I just want to say amen to everything that's already been said.
Okay, wonderful.
It's a great blessing and a great benefit to our citizens and our community, and I'm grateful that the citizens voted to continue this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you.
And I guess I'll make one final comment before I make a motion, but the CARE tax, it's definitely helps the arts and recreation. I think it makes Orem a destination. And for the Sarah, it does wonders. And I think there's nothing better than the Sarah. And I think that's a sense of community. And I think that's the key with this CARE tax. So on that note, I'll make a motion that the city council adopt an ordinance of the Orem City Council reauthorizing the culture, arts, and recreation enrichment tax, setting an effective date for the tax and authorizing the mayor and/or the city manager to provide any notices and to sign any documents required to impose the tax.
I'll
there a
second that.
Second.
Okay. We have 2 seconds. We'll start with Terry.
Aye.
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 I think that's everyone. I don't think
Okay.
Tom's on.
Okay, the motion passes, and I will take a motion to adjourn.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you for coming. Thank you to the city staff for all your hard work on this, and appreciate it.
Happy New Year, everyone.
Yes, happy